Hey, everybody out there in the YouTubes of land and anywhere else you may be watching this video. I have no idea where else that would be, but I am Jake of the OneManBand, and we are back again with another RWBY review for episode 5, chapter 5, whatever it is, volume 2. Guys, I just gotta tell you that I am really excited for these upcoming videos because it looks like we are going to be going into a story arc that centers around Pyrrha. Not just Team RWBY or like Jean back in volume 1, but solely Pyrrha. And I think it's really great that we're going to be exploring her as a character and kind of getting to know her a little bit more. But let's get started with what's going on in the episode. So in the very beginning, we have Pyrrha. She's facing off between all of Team Cardinal. All 4 members are going up against just her. And it just adds to her her title of being the invincible girl. She goes up against 4 guys who all made it into Beacon, so they do have some skills, as we know, and she's able to just wipe the floor with them, like, completely. But something that I did enjoy about that whole battle was being able to see Team Cardinal fight as a team, fight by themselves, and being able to see their actual weapons. Now, we already knew that Cardinal's weapon was a giant mace type deal, but we get to see his teammates' weapons. We see Russell Thrush's weapons. He wields dual. They look almost like daggers. They're pretty short. And honestly, they look like a mixture of Orcish and Daedric daggers from the Elder Scrolls games. But if you look closely, they do have dust wheel compartments near the handle, kind of like Weiss's weapon. So he obviously uses those dual weapons combined with dust to attack enemies. Dove Bronzewing has a form of a long sword, which also doubles as a gun, a pistol type deal. Honestly, his weapon didn't really look all that extravagant, but maybe it has another feature that we just haven't seen yet. And then last off, we have Skylark's weapon, which is a halberd. It's basically a giant axe/spear thing. It's awesome. And he used it, all the members of Team Cardinal used their weapons quite well, but they couldn't stand up against Pyrrha. And another thing that I saw during their fight is that Cardin, as the battle drew on and he saw that his team was losing, he kind of got angry and got cocky. He even hit his own teammate with his mace. So as they fight together as a team, they are still a little out of practice, and they probably need to work on that. But I don't really feel much sympathy for Team Cardinal. They're all jerks anyway. Next off, we have Mercury. He goes down there to fight Pyrrha one-on-one, and as we've seen before, and as we already knew, he is a fighter that uses his legs. He likes to kick, and he's a melee-based fighter. Kickboxing, probably some form of Kempo, and his weapons are on his legs. Now, his weapons do have metal on them, due to the fact that Pyrrha was able to use her semblance in order to manipulate his weapons so that he couldn't hit her. Yet, if you look closely, his arms are completely draped in armor as well. So, while his legs are probably more of attack, his arms are probably based for the defensive side. And a key factor on this whole fight, Mercury just went down there to learn Pyrrha's semblance and see how she fights. As soon as he figured it out, he gave up and the fight was over. After the fights, the teams, the people who are watching, they kind of disperse, go their own ways. Glenda Goodwitch mentions that the dance, the first dance, which is probably part of the Vinyl Festival, and by probably I mean is going to be that weekend, and we later learn from Jean that it's going to be on Sunday. And then the their first mission is going to be on Monday. Now, what that mission is going to be, we don't know. But it's obviously going to be an actual mission where they're going to go out and be in danger. Because, you know, it's kind of a big deal the way Glenda Goodwitch put it. And real quick, when it showed Team RWBY exit the main building, and it was kind of the wide shot where it showed them down, where it was up in the sky and it showed them from a distance, and then Sun runs over and all that, he was actually with the rest of his team. Team SSN, I have no idea how to pronounce that, but you can see Sage and Scarlet there as well as Neptune, but it doesn't go into any more detail. By the time Sun goes back, they're already gone. I just want to see them in an episode already. And speaking of teams not being in episodes, we finally now know why Team Coffee hasn't had an appearance in an episode yet. They have been away on a mission for a while, which really makes me think if Goodwitch said that their first mission was going to be on Monday, but Team Coffee was already on a mission. Does this mean they're already... Are they maybe second-year students, upperclassmen, or maybe they're just of a higher caliber of student in some way? I don't know, maybe Ozpin sent them on a secret mission. We don't know! Which makes me even more pissed off. And also, it is RWBY states... No, wait, it was Weiss. Weiss stated that they have been gone longer than expected, Team Coffee. And so, Weiss and Yang have taken over, I guess, preparations for the dance? So, that was officially Team Coffee's job, I believe. And now it's been passed on to Weiss and Yang, since Team Coffee probably isn't going to make it in time. Hopefully they do make it in time for the actual dance, although they may not make it for the preparation time. Alright, and it's obvious Blake is a nervous wreck. She needs to take a chill pill, literally. I mean, animation bag under the bag's dark eyes. She looks less like a cat, more like a raccoon now. Oh, jokes. You're all booing, aren't you? I'm sorry. So, the whole situation with Torchwick and the White Fang has got Blake so taut that she can't even enjoy one night. Now, hopefully, her teammates are able to reel her in for that one night. I'm hoping, because Blake, I think, deserves a break, to be honest. I mean, come on. Sun Wukong asked you to the dance. He has abs! Come on. Live a little. Also, we get to see Jean's failed attempt of asking Weiss to the dance for the first time. Yes, the first time he was asking her to a movie. But, the whole serenade he was doing, it was so funny. As soon as she opened the door for the first time, I busted up laughing. I'm pretty sure my neighbors could hear me laughing. I laughed for like a full minute and then had to rewatch it because I like missed a whole bunch. But Weiss denies Jean's, Weiss denies Jean's invitation to go to the dance with him. And she says that she already has a date. Now, is that Neptune? Probably. But, once again, still up in the air. The real question is Yang gonna go with anybody? Is RWBY gonna go with anybody? Blake probably ain't gonna go unless she's dragged there. And then after Jean is shot down by Weiss, he goes to, once again, train with Pyrrha. They still are doing their whole training regiment thing, and Jean still doesn't know what his semblance is. And he's a little hesitant of working with Aura. So he's probably more of the kind of just steel kind of guy, weapons, not really big on magic sense, which I can respect that. I'm kind of like that when I play MMORPG type dealies. But all of us pretty much know that his semblance is gonna go hand in hand with his aura. in some way. And also, after their training regimen, it's obvious Pyrrha liked Jean. We all know that. And Jean is just, you know, being the dense male protagonist in an anime that they usually are, and he's just so dense he can't see what's right in front of him. And it really makes you feel for Pyrrha because she's just so nice and accepting and patient. I mean, she is like perfection almost. And Jean just don't see it. Hopefully he sees it eventually. I mean, there's a whole thing with like, oh, Ruby and Jean and Pyrrha and Jean. You know what? Vote right now, down in the comments. When you're done writing all your theories and comments and all that stuff, I want you to put down if you're for Team Ruby and Jean or Team Pyrrha and Jean. Because we could... This is the new Team Edward and Jacob right now. I can't believe I even made that connection, but it's pretty much to that state right now. And then lastly, it goes back to our villains who are undercover. Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, they're talking about what's going to happen. And what they do is they put Pyrrha on some form of list. Is it a hit list? Is it a danger list? Like, oh, watch out for these people. Is it a kidnap list? We don't know. I'm personally going with hit list because, as we know, Pyrrha is a very, very good fighter. The Invincible Girl thing going on. And the bad guys, they also learn about her semblance. And Cinder says something along the line of taking away their power. Now, does that mean she's going to take away the illusion that she is the Invincible Girl? Is she going to somehow take away her semblance in some way? We don't know, but at the very last second, she's holding some form of needle, and it focuses on it for like the last second. So what is that needle? Is she like sewing something? Is it some form of Sleeping Beauty type deal where you prick your finger and you'll fall asleep forever? Who knows? We don't know. So this episode honestly left me with more questions. Even though it gave me a lot of answers, it left me with a lot of questions. Just like a good episode should. And at the very end, it has the whole pre-order of RWBY Volume 2. And I will be doing that, definitely, as soon as I'm done with this video. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this episode here. Like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe, of course. Leave all your comments, theories down below. Be sure to vote for Team RWBY or Team Pyrrha with the whole Jean relationship. And be nice to people. Tip your waitresses. I will see you guys next time. I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. I'll tell you what, guys. I am really excited for these new upcoming